talking about family financial management. We are assuming here a Christian couple that would like to know what the Bible says about man working together as a couple, as working together as a family. On part one, we have emphasized the fact that you must make a decision whether you want a Christian biblical marriage or you want to follow your traditions. If you choose a Christian marriage, then you have to define your marriage following what it was at the beginning in Genesis chapter 2. This gives us some beliefs that will influence the decisions you make. You know, I think it's important to understand that when you see somebody behave in a certain way, the clear indicator is that he is unlikely to be behaving different from his belief system. The way we are created, we get very uncomfortable when we act differently from our belief system. That means if you don't believe somebody is a good speaker, it will be very difficult to invest your time to listen to them attentively. In fact, chances are, if you are forced there, you could easily start dozing because you feel you are wasting your time. And the dozing is actually a reflection or based on the internal belief system. When you think, wow, our speaker today is so and so, and you already believe he has something to deliver, you just take out a pen and paper before anybody tells you. And out of that belief, your behavior is indicating what you believe. And it's the same thing in marriage. Many of the issues you see in your marriage are related to the belief systems of your husband or of your wife. And it's important to understand also your belief system could be clashing with the spouse's belief system. And so you have challenges in your marriage. And that's why we normally encourage young people to ensure that they marry people whose belief systems are similar or congruent to theirs. Because behavior is determined by belief system. Maybe you can also talk about attitude. Your attitude to anything is determined by your belief about it. And I think that's what James is saying when he is saying that faith without works is dead. In other words, don't cheat me. Your works tells me about your faith. Your behavior tells me about your faith, about the things that you actually believe. And it will be very clear that when I see your works, when I see your behavior, I can tell the kind of beliefs you have. So to claim to believe in God, but you are acting in a way that dishonors God, you can continue using the words, I believe, but James is saying, it's a dead faith. If you have some faith, it is dead. It doesn't exist. Because if it did, you would be totally uncomfortable, dishonoring to the God you believe in. Unless, of course, you don't know who God is. So we are saying all that in order to say that the way you manage your money should be, and it's certainly going to be, in line with the Word of God, if you believe in it, with the biblical belief pattern, if you really have them. And so the belief system you have will certainly determine the way you use your money. You can tell me that I love my wife, but all I need is to look at your checkbook. If I look at your checkbook and I can see how you use your money, most likely I will know what your belief system is. Because money is precious and scarce. You are unlikely to use it in areas you don't believe in. You can't support something you don't believe in, unless, of course, you are a prisoner or a slave. So I can tell from the way you use money what your priorities are, and therefore what your belief system is. And I think that's very important as a family to ask yourself, do you act contrary to your belief system? The answer is no. You can act contrary to your declared belief system, but you are unlikely to continuously act contrary to your true belief system. Because the two are not the same. There are things you say you believe, and there are things you truly believe. What you truly believe is what actually determines your behavior, not what you claim to believe. And I think that's a very, very important thing to understand. So your beliefs will determine your attitude. Your attitude will determine your beliefs will determine your attitude. Your attitude will determine your behavior. So when I see you behave in a certain way, I must go behind it and find what is that his attitude to that. Once I can identify your attitude to that, I'll go, what is it that he believes that causes him to have that attitude? And if I want to really change you, there's no need of me spending a lot of time criticizing your behavior. All I need is to go to the root belief system. And if I go to that root belief system, most likely, if I change it, if I question it, and you finally agree with me, your behavior will change. May not immediately, but over time it will certainly change. So even in financial management, what we would really spend our time on in this series is talking about the beliefs that should advise your behavior. And if we actually can change your beliefs, then your financial management behavior would actually have been infected, and it would have actually changed. You know, the first thing that we must encourage you as a couple is to have, like I said in part 1, have a clear family purpose statement. What is your vision? When I say purpose, I'm including your vision. What is it by the time you are dying, you have accomplished because you are a couple? That's the vision. It's a noun. Describe it, debate it, agree it. Number 2, agree what your mission is. Mission is a verb. What will you do as a couple in order to accomplish that vision? What do you hope to do? And then number 3, what are your core values? What are the boundaries within which you travel to your vision? What is that thing that is beliefs that is so core to you that you are willing to say, even if it means I will not achieve what I wanted, I would rather not achieve it than break that purpose? That needs to be agreed between you and your wife, such that both of you know that's a no-go zone. Would rather be failures, but then cross that boundary. That's why somebody says core values are non-negotiable convictions, and they need to be agreed. So if you really want to manage your family finances well, then you must debate it. Of course, like I say, you must begin by understanding what your wife's or your spouse's vision is, mission is, core values are. She also needs to understand your vision, mission, and core values. Then you now sit together and agree, how can we make them congruent? How can they work together so that now we can write a family vision, mission, and core values that do not contradict our personal purpose. And they have, in fact, we not only are going to achieve the family purpose, but in the process we'll also have achieved our individual purpose. Of course, if there are some values that are differing, you need to debate them until you can influence each other so you have similar values. If your purposes are cross purpose, in other words, they are pulling to different directions, they need to be debated until you can agree, because that marriage will have real problems when one is going one direction, the other one to a different direction. It will be very important that is something that you deal with. So, if you really want to manage your family finances well, you need a clarity of purpose. Why am I emphasizing this? Because money is simply a vehicle to help you to meet your purpose. So the way you make money, the way you use money, will be in line with what you feel God called you to do, what you feel God created you to achieve. Any money God gives you, it's not to help you to live the life God has called you to live. So if you don't know what the purpose is, then you are likely to waste your money helping other people's purposes rather than yours. So it's important that before you talk about, is this a good thing to invest in? Should we invest here? Should we use the money this way? And first of all, answer, what is it you are trying to achieve? Once that is agreed, then it will be easier for you to go. So you need to understand that you want to be wealthy, but for a purpose, not just get rich. You know, when you talk about purpose, and not our discussion today, your life's purpose is not about becoming famous. You might become famous when you fulfill your purpose, but that's a byproduct. Your life's purpose, therefore, cannot be to be the richest man. You might end up to be the richest man, but that's not your purpose. That's a byproduct in achieving your purpose, because money is for a purpose. So the more you get, the more you are able to do what God created you to achieve. So your purpose is not based on self or something happening to self. Your purpose is something happening to others. In other words, I was created to do something for mankind. So your purpose as a family, your purpose as individuals will be, because we are alive, this world will change on earth. That's really what you should be using your money for. And I think that will be something that will be important for you to deal with. You know, you need to understand that a lot of family financial problems we have in the way we manage our finances as a family, it's a behavior, like I've been saying. Go behind it and see the belief behind it. So when people are fighting about money, it's not because of the money itself, it's because the two beliefs have a problem. If both of you are agreed in beliefs and mission, in core values, chances are you will be very easy to find that you are using money in the way the other one also supports. And that needs to be dealt with. So you need to spend more time agreeing your belief system. You know, for example, not having a car may be causing problems in your marriage. And you call it a financial issue. I'm going to get a car. But the day you get a car, your problems will not be over. Because you might now have enough money to buy the car. But you still see you are disagreeing you are still disagreeing in the marriage. Why? You know, as long as there was no car, you both would jump in your matatu, and if you left your wife, she will enter the next matatu. You get a vehicle, and your belief system will be tested. For example, whose car is it? You know, do you believe the husband is the one who owns the car? Now, those belief systems will be in question. So, in order to answer the questions, who drives it? The husband or the wife? And remember, both of them may be equally educated, have contributed to the purchase of the car. So it's not that one is cleverer than the other, can be a better driver than the other. But now you have the resource, but using it will depend on your belief system. So you can see clearly, you thought you had problems when you are too poor to be able to buy a car. Now you have the money, and it has a problem. What I'm trying to get you to see is that you can be happy and enjoy any and every level of income. And you can live within your means, like I've been saying, at any level of income. So the critical thing then will be, if you understand that, then your belief system will play okay when you are too poor to own a car. And then God has blessed you, now you get a car. You will use the same principles that allowed you to work well without a car, now to have a car. You know, as soon as you are having a car, the issue of how to manage it will be a major issue. In fact, many marriages.